My mom wants me to marry my stepbrother, and it's been really unsettling. She's recently started reaching out to me at work and making false claims about inheritance. I'm 29, and my older stepbrother, Chris, is 42. Our family dynamics have been complicated since my mom married his dad when I was 4 and he was 17. After my dad passed away when I was 1, we moved back to Colombia. My stepdad got his residency through marriage, and Chris, being a minor, didn't take well to me. Unfortunately, I have mostly negative memories of him. He bullied me throughout my childhood, and my parents often didn't believe me, favoring Chris instead. As I grew older, his behavior became more concerning. I eventually reached out to my biological half-brother, Sam, who is now 48. He and his wife, Sandy, became my guardians, providing the support I needed to finish school and pursue higher education without debt. Recently, my mom reconnected after years of silence, trying to seem friendly. However, when she started asking about my job and finances, I felt uneasy. Eventually, she suggested I help pay off Chris's student debt, implying it was my responsibility. After discussing this with Sam, I decided to block my mom, stepdad, and Chris. When they showed up at Sam's house, I felt scared, but Sam intervened to ensure my safety. He made it clear that their behavior was unacceptable, which seemed to deter them for now. Since then, my mom has been persistently contacting me, claiming I owe her money. This has added to my stress, but Sam is helping me explore legal options for protection. I appreciate the support from friends and family. It truly makes a difference. I'm focused on setting boundaries and prioritizing my mental health during this challenging time. Thank you for the understanding and encouragement. That's how I found out about the significant fallout between my mother and my stepbrother. Apparently, he went after one of my stepfather's nieces. I don't know her age, but she's likely around my age or possibly younger. Many of my biological father's relatives have taken to social media to call out my mother, pointing out her claims of being an orphan with no family, while suddenly she has 3 sisters. It's a mess, and for now, I'm just observing. I'm enjoying my time as a stay-at-home aunt, spending time with my nephews. We have a lot of fun after they finish their homework. My boss has helped me with some paperwork for a leave of absence, so I should be off for about 6 weeks. After that, I'll mostly be working from home for a while. It's not the most exciting update, and honestly, things have been tough, but it's nice to spend time with the kids. Also, I want to clarify that my mom is not in a relationship with my stepbrother, as some have speculated. She has always wanted a son, and was disappointed when I was born a girl. She treats my brother like her real son, and I think she truly loves him. She often expressed her disappointment when I was born. Update 2. I hope the title is okay according to the guidelines here. My mother was widowed when I was 1 year old. My biological father was much older than her, and there was a significant age difference. After his passing, she remarried and adopted his 17-year-old son. I was born in the US, but spent part of my childhood in Colombia before returning to the US at age 4. Throughout my life, my mother constantly complained about having a daughter. She would often say things like, "If you were a boy, maybe we could have gotten more from your father," or express how useless she thought girls were. I often felt like a problem child to her. She mismanaged my inheritance, spending it mostly on things for my stepbrother. When guests visited, she would introduce me in a way that highlighted her disappointment. During holidays, I would often be left with a sitter because I was seen as a burden. We only have one family picture from when I was 5. If I ever bought something nice with my own money, she would take it from me, saying I wasn't worthy of having nice things. She had no plans for me to attend college. The worst part is that she never protected me. My stepbrother bullied me, stole my food, and engaged in inappropriate behavior. When I was 16, he crossed a line, and instead of holding him accountable, my mother blamed me, saying I was tempting him. I was fortunate to be taken in by my half-brother, Sam, and his wife. They supported me through high school and college. Now, at 29, I have a stable career as a nurse practitioner and am saving to buy my own home. However, my mother has discovered this and has been demanding that I give her my money, insisting it belongs to her because she is my mother. She's also pressured me to pay off my stepbrother's student loans. Since I refused to comply, she has gone online to claim that I am trying to ruin her son's life and that I owe her for all the love she supposedly gave me. Some women who claim to be my aunts have joined her in this, despite the fact that I've never met them. Update 3. This might be my last update for a while, as we're starting legal proceedings. I realized that my father, who passed away when I was 1, left me a trust. My understanding is that my mother mismanaged it, using the funds for her own purposes. Recently, I met with my father's lawyer, who has been incredibly supportive. We discovered that my mother had been falsifying documents to withdraw money from my trust. This is serious, as she is not the executor of my trust and had no right to those funds. It turns out she had been claiming me as a dependent on her taxes, which complicates things further. Thanks to those who advised me to freeze my credit. You truly helped me. I might not be able to post for a while as I navigate this situation. It's been exhausting, but I'm focused on getting control of my trust, which has enough funds to help me buy a house or condo and invest for my future. I might wait for a while to buy anything, though, as I'm unsure how safe it would be since my mom still has access to my personal information. Update 4. Hey, Reddit. This is more of a personal rant than a full-on update. Things are only starting on the legal side of things, so I don't have much to share at this moment. I just came home after an uncomfortable encounter with my mother at a bar. A brief background. My mother has not been a supportive figure in my life. She has prioritized her relationship with my stepbrother, who has caused me distress since childhood. The situation escalated when I was a teenager, and now she is demanding that I help with his financial obligations while she has also been misusing my biological father's inheritance. Last night, I decided to go out with some friends for a much-needed break. My half-brother Sam and his wife Sandy encouraged me to enjoy a night out. I tend to be more reserved, so I stuck to the bar chatting with the bartender while my friends had fun. Unfortunately, my good mood was interrupted when I spotted my mother approaching. She immediately hugged me and began to cry, expressing how much she missed me. I tried to distance myself, but she started making a scene, asking for reconciliation and claiming that she and my stepbrother care about me. Things escalated quickly, and I found myself overwhelmed. I finally told her to leave me alone, but she followed me outside, making hurtful comments. Thankfully, one of my friends called Sam, who came to my rescue and took me home. For those wondering why I didn't contact the authorities, I have reported incidents in the past, but I feel they did not take my situation seriously. Writing this is a way for me to vent my feelings, especially since my therapist is unavailable. Update 5. Hey, it's been a bit since my last update. I appreciate the concern from those who reached out. The past few days have been relatively quiet until this weekend. To recap, my mother has always shown favoritism towards my stepbrother, who is 42 years old. The troubling experiences I faced as a child led me to live with my half-brother after a particularly difficult incident. Recently, my mother has been trying to contact me and has been disruptive in my life. This past weekend, she came to my workplace. I had been working from home, but had returned to the clinic for my nurse practitioner duties. I noticed someone with my mother's first name, but a different last name. Given her unique name, I was surprised to see her. I immediately called my boss, who was aware of the situation. She intervened, asking my mother to leave due to my concerns about my safety. My mother was upset, but eventually left after some back and forth. My boss later brought me a letter from my mother, which was quite emotional. She expressed her love for me and her desire to reconnect, even mentioning that my stepbrother wanted to spend more time with me. I also need to address something personal. Due to past medical complications, I am unable to conceive. My mother is aware of this situation, as well as the challenges I've faced in my past. My lawyer is helping me compile everything for our legal case. Although we don't have a court date yet, one officer is taking my case seriously, which is reassuring. Update: just 3 days later, I wanted to share that my stepbrother has been arrested in a serious incident. A child was recovered safely, and I'm relieved she wasn't harmed. I'll keep you updated as I learn more.